wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Yep, it's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee, DJ Envy had to bounce because, you know, it feels like there's only room for one light-skinned person in the building at a time. My man Speedy Morman is here. Speedy, what's up, my brother?
My brother, I'm so happy to be. I'm upset that my Queen's brother could not be here, but Charlamagne and Angie, thank you so much for having me. I'm honored.
No, I'm proud of you, King. You know, you one of those people I watch from afar, and I'm like, that young man got his own lane. He's not attempting to be in the mix. He's not doing what everybody else is doing. He's just doing his work, and it's clearly paying off for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, all we could do is try our best, and you know, for so many years I've watched y'all, and so like, even to be up here with y'all, it's like crazy to me. Like it's just crazy. I'm just so honored. And
we played some of your clips up here too, and shouted you out.
I know. I still remember the first time, like hearing my name said by you, or like seeing you guys discuss one of my clips, and I was like, oh shit, like this is crazy. So I'm really excited, and like even hearing y'all say that, it just means the world to me. So thank y'all.
Tell us the
you've
journey.
interviewed some pretty amazing people too.
Yeah, I have. Just by virtue of, I guess, putting in the work and like, you know, all of that hard work just coming to fruition and like, I guess just paying off.
How did you end up at Complex?
Yeah, so my journey is interesting. Y'all got time? We're going to be here for a long time.
Let's do it.
So I very, very rarely like tell the full story of like how I got here, but what better place than here. So I went to Syracuse University and studied broadcasting there.
Great school to go to for journalism.
They say, you know, they say it's the #1 broadcast school in the country. Not
when you
me,
see
but
all
they
the people
say.
that graduated from that program on the wall.
Yeah. If you look at just the alumni list, or even like ESPN, like everybody. So I went there to study broadcasting. I was always like an oddball there because, for one, like I was like the only person of color in a lot of my classes. The classes are super small. And two, like I was the only one in my classes who didn't want to do like hard news journalism. Like I did not want to be, you know, on a local news station in like the middle of Nebraska, like reporting on like a pig weigh-in or some nonsense, you know? So I already knew like what I wanted to do. And so
what was that? I love that. The fact that you knew what you wanted to do. What did you want to do?
I wanted to blend my passions and get paid for it. And a lot of people say that, but like for me, growing up, I just knew I was going to make the NBA, right? Like I knew I was going to play basketball. Growing up in Queens, like a lot of people thought I was going to be this next big basketball star.
How tall are you?
Now I'm 5'10". But listen. When I was,
you said now I'm 5'10".
I was like,
you were taller back then.
Yeah, I used to be 6'3", but my back now. I was like 5'1", but I was nice. And you know, as the journey goes, when I got to high school, like I figured out early on, thank God, that I was never going to get paid to play basketball. I realized, I said, okay, this is not going to pay the bills for me. Like I'm not going to secure my future. What can I do? And so at that time, I used to watch SportsCenter every single day in the morning before school, and I used to watch 106 in Park after school every single day. And
Free AJ era or Roxy Terrence era?
I'm a Terrence and Roxy era.
Okay.
My uncle was AJ and Free. I remember being in Left Rack watching 106 in Park with him, and then I used to watch Terrence and Roxy. And so I used to see Terrence and Roxy up there, and I used to see SportsCenter, and I love basketball. I was like, how can I just blend these all together? And so I was like, I know exactly what I want to do. I want to do that. And so I just did a Google search. What's the best broadcast school in the country? Syracuse was it. I went on an interview, got into the school, boom.
Wow.
So now I'm in the school.
Did that alumni network do a lot for you? Because you said a lot of people did.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody there. You gotta, like, I don't know anybody, like no one in my family has gone away to college except for my uncle. Didn't graduate. I was the first person in my family to graduate from college, like get a bachelor's. So like, I didn't really have anybody that I know that was successful. So I just kind of was like, my family was like, look, we stacking our chips on you. Just go. My mom took some loans out in her name. Thank God. Shout out to my mom.
Got it worked out.
I got mad financial aid. Thank God, or else I was not going. So now I'm in Cuse. I know. I'm sorry, y'all.
What grade were you in when you? Because it's such clarity. Yeah.
So I realized I wasn't going to get paid to play basketball after my freshman year of high school. So what are you, like 14?
You were still 5'1"?
Yeah, actually I was. I was as a freshman coming in, I was like 4'10" and a half. And all of my mans is like 6'3", everybody hitting their growth spurt, and I'm not budging. So I was like, man, this shit is over. So then I go to Cuse. I'm different than everybody, and I've always felt like I was different, but I just knew that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I'm also like the only kid in the program who doesn't have a license to drive, and like as a part of that program, you have to go into the city and like report on stuff. So
Such
like
a New Yorker. You didn't have your license.
Yeah, so I'm getting on the bus, like carrying around these tripods. Syracuse is the snow capital of the country. So like I'm the only kid like thugging it out. Like it was intense as hell. So then I applied for 2 internships. The first one I really, really wanted to get and I didn't get. But the second one was complex. And I was super always into sneakers and like streetwear. And so I knew that I would love to end up there. So I applied for the internship. I got an internship after my sophomore year of college. This is 2014. I was like the epitome of a hustling ass intern. Like I knew that once I was in the building, I was gonna shake and move how I got down.
That's why internships are so important.
Oh,
I'm glad
yeah.
Because when I was in college and I did my internships, at the end of the internship, I would be like the only one left all the time. Because when you're not getting paid, really, people just stop
dropping
showing
like
up.
Flies,
Yeah, they
like
dropped like flies.
And so this is when internships were largely unpaid.
Yeah.
So like I'm not making nothing. Like I'm like working at Costco. Like after the internship, I'm the only intern who has another job. Like working 40 hours a week. That was crazy. But like I had 2 whole internships at the same time because I was working with the Complex Sneakers team, and I knew that I wanted to be on the video team because I still had this vision of what I wanted to do. And so what I would do is I would get my assignment in the morning from the Complex Sneaker team, act like I was taking mad long to do it. Mind you, I had already finished that shit within the first hour. I would tell them I'm still working on it, and I would go over to the Complex video team and be like, yo, what's up? Like, I finished. What do y'all need? And I used to run the teleprompter. I used to help write scripts. I used to do anything they needed to do, run the audio. I just let them know I was their guy for anything.
Right.
And am I bad? I'm sorry.
No, I like it.
Man, listen, I love this.
Because I have questions during this whole course.
I'm sorry.
Do you
No,
think
I love it.
Do you think that college helped you? Because I know we've had discussions up here about, is college important for people? And for some people, they'll say, yeah, it helped them a lot. Some people will say it didn't. Do you think college helped you?
All right, now you ain't on that wall yet. Don't say nothing crazy.
Nah, I would. You know what the crazy part is? As successful as as I've been, and obviously like, I'm nowhere near where a lot of these legends are, or even close to you guys. Syracuse has never once acknowledged anything that I've done.
They will.
Ever.
They will.
But at this point, I don't want them to.
Why?
I don't care to, because there's a lot of kids I had class with that followed what their journey of success is, right? The local news market, work your way up. And all of them have gotten acknowledged except for me. They've not said anything to me. I sat down one-on-one, hour-long interview with the president.
Barack Obama.
Nothing.
That's insane.
Nothing.
I wonder if
can't
it's because
imagine that.
it's because they don't respect hip hop, black culture.
I think that could have a lot to do with it. Also, like, I'm largely in the digital space, so like I think to them the hierarchy is like, local news, cable news is like above digital, I guess.
Those days
But
are over.
to answer your question, is college necessary? It varies by the person. Me, I learned a lot in college, and I would have never gotten the internship if I didn't go to Syracuse. So for me, I needed to go to college for my journey to.
And do you tap into your alumni network
Never.
there? You should. I just want to listen. I'm gonna tell you something that I've learned personally. You have to do that. Part of what you pay for is to be able to use that alumni network.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it works. If you need investors in something, if you need just relationships, even if you just reach out, the fact that you went to Syracuse and you're doing what you do, you'll be surprised at people's responses. And I do feel like it's valuable because sometimes people don't do that. Like, I've learned that from a lot of different people in different colleges, how they've been able to tap into that alumni network and get funding and get all kinds of
that's a
things
good
going.
point.
And you should do that. Like,
She's right.
don't.
No, but the good thing is that if I ever needed any funding, I have this friend who works at this radio station. He wears a Rolex. He wears.
got it.
So if I ever needed a bag, I'm coming right here.
But I'm
to
telling
this
you,
man.
it's part of what you pay for.
No,
which
I
are-
know,
Yeah.
and I should. That's like somebody tell me, you should eat your vegetables, right?
Yeah.
Like I know, I know
telling
that
you.
that's true. I just
A lot of people don't do it. That's why
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it until I had a whole conversation, and I was like, I do need to.
I'm convinced. You got me.
Yeah, and don't
I'll
take
do it.
anything personal that's happening with Syracuse, because in this game you got to remember there's no permanent friends or enemies when it comes to business, and that indeed is
Yeah,
business.
that's a fact.
And it took Wesleyan a while to acknowledge me too. I mean, they ended up doing like this huge article. I mean, I did a TED talk there. Do you donate back to the school too?
I used to, but
You
then I
did?
got upset.
You were like, no
Because I
more.
was like, what am I? I used to.
Right.
I stopped answering them calls. You know, they have the kid, like the students that they pay
to call
hourly.
you up like, hey,
Yeah.
what's up, Speedy?
I just stopped answering that call. I just let it go straight
Light
to
skin,
that.
Queens.
Nah, it's not
I know
even-
this guy.
You are just like
Get out
Envy.
those feelings. I know this guy.
Nah.
I know. I've worked with a guy like this for a long time.
Yeah, it's it is what it is. I would just say for me, I don't care about that acknowledgement, right? Like it doesn't mean anything to me personally, but if I was them, I would definitely just take every success that I've had and claim it, because it's like not a diverse program. Mm-hmm. And like
True.
everybody it's like a super
True.
linear path.
Right.
So like if I'm them, I would be like, look at this kid. He's
represent the
mixed
new.
and- yeah, and look, you can go on to do this.
And think
But
about how many of
instead,
the
like-
students there could benefit from you and your story too.
Right. And I don't want to make this about
Okay.
I
Syracuse, can y'all please call Speedy?
Nah, I'm not answering. No calls.
Answer.
No calls is being answered. But yeah.
So
man.
so 2 internships.
Yeah, so it's really one internship, but I'm doing complex sneakers, but I'm telling them I'm still working and I'm on the news team, like helping them with video stuff. And shout out to my homegirl Emily. She was an anchor there at the time. Her name's Emily Oberg. I used to write her scripts. She was still new. And she was like not that great at writing, and so she came to me one day and she was like, yo, Speedy, can you help me write this script? And so like I'm helping her write scripts. Mind you, they're like workshopping with her every day. She comes to me and I'm hearing the chatter like, yo, Emily's script writing has gotten so much better. Like she's really progressing. And low key, like I know that it's me. And so long story short, she gets caught and then she's like, Speedy, I can't have you write my scripts anymore. I'm like, oh, it's all
Did
good.
she get caught or did somebody drop a dime on her?
She probably got snitched on. I ain't gonna lie. She may have gotten.
Might have
snitched
been
on.
Speedy.
No, not me. That was my
Anonymous
sis.
email.
No. That's my sis. That's that's family.
And I did something with her. I did Get Sweaty with her.
You did do Get Sweaty, yes,
Yeah.
years ago. Facts. Yeah, so that's my sis. Shout out to Emily. Shout out my son Jinx.
Jinx is dope too.
Yeah, that's my brother too, man. I really learned a lot from them, and that's family. So, I just went from helping her out a lot, and then a man named Cornell Brown, who used to work with Puff and then worked at Complex, and now he works, actually, I'm not even allowed to say where he works, but
Okay.
he changed it
FBI
all for me.
agent.
He saw something in me and was like, yo, I want to give you a shot. What do you want to do? And I told him what I wanted to do. He gave me a shot, and then I became the weekend anchor. So I went from being an intern to like during the week to like being an anchor on the weekends. Mind you, I'm still
At Syracuse?
I'm still a student, 6 hours away. So
When you say weekend anchor, what do you mean? Like,
we had something called Complex News where we would do like 3 news scripts, like deliver a script, teleprompter, but like cultural news
Got
stuff.
you.
So I'm doing that on the weekends. The summer's over. It's time to go back to school. I'm a senior at college. I'm at a crossroad. Like, do I go back? Do I just keep doing the weekends? And Cornell was like, you can stay if you want, but there will be a weekend anchor, whether it's you or it's someone else. So I said, I got to go back to school. I'm going to finish it out, but I want to stay. And so for the entire senior year of my college career, I commuted back 6
weekend.
hours
I love it.
on a Greyhound each way.
I love it.
Missed every party my senior year of college. I missed every function, every comedy show, every
I love
whatever.
it.
I couldn't talk to no shorties. I couldn't do anything. I would come home every weekend, 6 hours on that damn Greyhound. And yeah, and the day I graduated on a Sunday. And then Monday I started full time. And it's been history ever since.
So what do you think was the key to the immediate success right after college? The fact that you started early in college?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. A lot of kids wait until it's late.
Yeah.
They wait until like they're well into their junior, senior year. Some kids wait till after. Some kids don't know. I'm just so blessed and honored that like the Lord gave me vision to know what it was that I wanted to do.
And you hustled.
Yeah, and I worked for it, man. Like it was crazy. Like that shit was crazy. Mind you, like sometimes these weekend trips would be in other places. Like I remember I was covering All-Star Weekend in Toronto, and then I'm coming back to class on Monday. Like I remember I had an interview with Julius Dr. J. Irving that weekend. I'm in broadcasting class, like not paying attention to the lesson, but like doing research, like prepping for interviews on like in a class that they're supposed to be teaching me. Like it was just, and
You
I had
couldn't set up your
kids.
schedule so you only had to go to class like maybe 2 or 3 times?
I wish, but it didn't work that way. the broadcasting program there is so intense that like the classes are what they are, and you have to take them that way. So it was crazy. Also, it was weird because there was a lot of kids on campus that really watched a lot of complex stuff. So I'd be like in class and kids would be like, "Oh shit, Speedy, you go here? Like what the fuck?" It was like a very weird time. But yeah, that's the super long-winded answer of how
Question.
I got here.
I love the journey. I wonder, why did you not think of more traditional routes like radio, like TV?
For me, so I had a radio show when I was in college, and I loved it a lot. But I just felt like it wasn't enough. I felt like I could express myself better visually, like if people could see me. I don't know. I just always felt that way. I think maybe it's because I used to watch 106 and Sports Center. Maybe that's why. I don't know. And then the local news route, like I always knew that was my backup plan. Like there's always gonna be the need for a reporter in like the middle of nowhere. Like there's always gonna be that. So like worst case, if shit ever gets real bad, I can go to Montana and get a job for $30K. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it ever gets bad. So I knew that I had that backup plan, but I was like, I want more, and I can fall back on this if need be, but I'm going to go for like what I really want to do.
And now you're also hosting HBO Max's The Hype.
Yeah, man.
And my girl Ricky is a producer on that too.
Salute to Ricky.
Shout out to Ricky. Ricky is I'm so honored to be able to work with Ricky. Like, I don't know if you know who Ricky is.
Yeah.
She's a Grammy winner, Emmy winner,
Yeah.
like also just like the coolest person. Like, my brother was with me on set, shout out to Ish, when we were with her every day. She's just so intellectual, and working with Ricky is an absolute honor.
I love Ricky, man. Her company Magic Lemonade. Shout out to
shout out
them.
to Magic Lemonade. I'm just, Ricky is amazing. But yeah, so that's mainly why I'm here. But I'm hosting this new show on HBO Max. It's called The Hype. Basically, it's a streetwear competition show. Think Project Runway, American Idol. There are
But
three
for streetwear.
Yes, there are 3 judges. We call them co-signers. One of them is Offset of the Migos. One of them is Beffy. And one of them is Marnie Senefonte. And basically, we take these super talented designers and we pit them against each other to win $150,000. Mad cameos from Cardi B to Wiz Khalifa, Dapper Dan pulls up, A$AP Ferg comes. So many people come. It's streaming right now on HBO Max. By the time people listen to this, all 8 episodes will be out, so you can stream them all right now. But
My girl
it was
Paige
great.
is on there from Detroit.
Oh, you know Paige?
Yeah,
Bro,
from
I
Paige.
love Paige. Bro, Paige is a movie. Paige is hilarious. She's so funny. She's super talented, and I'm excited to see how she's perceived on the show. Like, I'm happy for people to see her on the show.
That's not the Paige who was hosting 106 The Park at one point back in the day, right?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, she's a designer, but
Yeah.
she's from Detroit, and she's really popping though. Like she already
lit,
before
like-
doing the show, because I think a lot of the people that you have as the contestants, right? There's a $150,000 prize, and they're all pretty, like you said, great designers. But maybe they need to get it to the next level.
Yeah, some of them is lit though. Like
Right.
Paige is not the only one that's already lit. Like, shout out my son Kai. He's
Kai
super
was
poppin'.
amazing on there.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah, I watched the
Oh.
first 3 episodes.
What'd you think?
Listen, I love stuff like that. So the first episode, A$AP Ferg is on, and they're basically designing an outfit for him.
Correct. Yeah.
And so
yeah.
I think that's a hard thing to do, because I was watching it, right? And you want to give him something that looks like something he would wear.
Right.
But then you also kind of want to maybe make somebody step out of their comfort zone.
Sure. And you have to design something that's in your own style, you know?
Right.
And so that's why it's tough for these designers to be able to take all of this and make something with it, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's why I respect designers so much more, because seeing these kids or these designers like make outfits out of nothing, like out of rolls of fabric off the wall, like, and turn it into full fits in 2 days.
Yeah.
That's fire to me.
And things can go wrong, and if it doesn't, I
Yeah.
saw one of the contestants, he had to make a skirt instead of
Blue,
the pants.
yeah, shout out
Blue
Blue,
was
he's from
trying
Atlanta.
to make pants, but
One of the designers was trying to make these pants. He sent it out to a seamstress, just didn't come back. Like, they just couldn't make it.
And that's
so he
real
had to-
life.
and this is for Ferg, so he had to wind up making a skirt for Ferg, and he's like, is this for me? Like, Blue is super talented too, though, so shout out to Blue. But it's an amazing show.
How'd you get on it?
They just reached out. They were just...
Really?
They just reached out, and they were like, we love what you do. Like, we've watched so much of your stuff. Shout out to Suzanne. Suzanne is the person that reached out. She said, we've seen all of your shit. We loved your Obama interview. Like, we love what you have going and like what you do for the culture. So do you want to come host the show? And I was like, hell yeah.
So you don't have an agent, lawyer, nothing?
No, I do. I have an agent and a lawyer, but that just came to me direct. Like, they just hit me.
Right. And plus, they're probably somebody that's fashionable, too. So how important is fashion to you?
I mean, personally, I don't consider myself like a fashionista type of guy.
Some Supreme, Izod.
No, this is a little Lacoste.
You got a million sweatsuits.
I mean, oh yeah,
I
Lacoste,
do. So that's my thing. I'm not a fashion person. I just grew up in streetwear and sneaker culture, and like I just like to wear comfortable clothing. Like, I'm just a comfy guy. So sweatsuits is my vibe. I have like over 100 tracksuit, vintage sweatsuits. That's just my thing. So yeah, I that had a lot to do with it as well, right? Because they could have gotten somebody who, you know, is a great host, but maybe lacks in that department. And, you know, we needed something that was authentic to the culture. So that's why I'm honored to be a part of it. And it was like the honor of my life to shoot that show. It was so much fun.
I saw a review that, I don't want to mispronounce the person's name, but Pasha Braithwaite?
I don't know who that is.
Well, it was from Bloomberg.com, and she criticized the show for completely ignoring the pandemic, racial protests, and major events that occurred in the last 2 years.
I saw this. This is the first negative review that we've gotten on the show, on this show. And
I'm trying to figure out, why would she want that in this show?
So that,
I don't know if this. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Forgive me. I don't know this person. Here's my defense to that. Like, we ignored. And mind you, the reviews have been overwhelmingly popular. This is the first negative review I saw. But like, we neglected the pandemic. For me personally, like, I just got out of 18 months in a crib, like locked down here in New York. When I watch something as an escape, like, I don't want to watch people masked up. Like, I don't want to watch something that reminds me of the last year and a half of my life.
This show is escapism.
Stuck in the crib.
And you have to do testing, I'm sure, for everybody.
The COVID protocols were insane. Right. But for me, I just feel like us, like, super acknowledging the pandemic and like talking about the pandemic is tired. Do any of us want to talk about COVID anymore? I don't think so. When you're trying to watch something at the crib after a long day, do you want to watch something about people? I don't know. That would be my rebuttal to that.
These topics are very important, right? But what do they got to do with the hype? A show about
what does that have to do with
streetwear.
Street culture? Like, you feel me? Like, I don't know. Now, the second thing she said, we ignored, what was it?
She said the show asked us to believe that real people in culture distinguish streetwear from fashion, yet contestants occupy a landscape where climate change, racism, and mental health are reduced to slogans on jackets. The result is a program that has the depth of a well-curated Instagram feed.
Okay, here's my rebuttal to that. You're watching a streetwear show, right? Streetwear is a lot of things. Self-expression is like a major part of streetwear. And so one of the challenges was to design a piece, a jacket, I believe it was a jacket, that is emblematic of a cause that you care about, whatever it may be, right? So like, one of the designers speaks to Black equity, so she makes a Black Lives Matter look. Another person speaks to mental health. Shout out my son, Justin. His dad, unfortunately, committed suicide when he was a kid. So he spoke about mental health, and that's how he designed his piece. I don't think that these huge ideas and themes are like reduced to one line on, or what did she say? One line on a jack, or one line? Like, we explore the idea of mental health. Like, we explore what it was like for a kid from the Midwest to be raised without a father because his dad committed suicide. We explore what it's like. Paige gets super vulnerable. How it is to raise a Black son in this society, like in this culture now. Like, the George Floyd verdict comes while we're shooting, and we stop shooting to watch it. And I'm like, yo, we need to tell these contestants that this just happened. Like, this is real life. So we acknowledge that on the show.
On the show?
Right.
I come out and I say, guys, this is not part of the show, but I just want you guys to know that this verdict came back. So to me, I just can't agree with that. I think the show does a good job of providing good entertainment, something to escape all of the negativity of the world regarding the pandemic, and then still give you some substance, like mental health, like Black equity, like
even on the first episode, Murph was going through it, having to deal with a court case.
Yeah, shout out to Murph. One of the contestants on the show while we were shooting was going through something super personal. Like, she's going through a divorce. Like, we do explore these things. So to me, I don't agree with that review. This is also the first time in my life I've gotten like a negative review, so
We'll get used to it.
Yeah,
That's right.
I feel
Welcome to the
attached.
club.
You know?
I'll tell you why reviews like this are good. Salute to, and I'm sorry if I'm messing your name up. Salute to Pasha Braithwaite. The reason reviews like this are good because it allows you to go deeper.
Facts.
You know what I
Facts.
mean?
Yeah, and you know, it gives me a chance to maybe if something was misinterpreted or like it gives me a chance to talk about what it is that we did do. You know, maybe this person didn't quite grasp what we were trying to do, and that's okay. I just think that we did an incredible job. I think that the show is super entertaining. I think that the host is amazing. Shout out to that guy who hosted. It's
Offset,
a
right?
Kid. No, it's me.
Oh, I'm messing with you.
No, I think it's a really good. I really, truly, in my heart, think it's a good show, and not because I'm on it. It's entertaining, completely objectively, it's a good show.
Did
It
you have
really
any
is.
favorites?
Of course, I have favorites. There are certain people on the show who, so like the actual judging is not me.
Right.
That's our co-signers, Beffy, Marnie, and Offset. But you know, I'm allowed to have my opinions too. So when we talking, when we're not shooting, I'm like, Offset, you are wildin'. That jacket is fire. Or you know, Beffy, I don't know if you like those pants. I don't like those pants. So I mean, I'm always have my opinion. I definitely had some favorites on the show, but
Okay.
the judging is not up to me.
Well, in real life, who are some of your favorites?
On the show, man, shout out my son Kai. I think Kai is
Yeah, Kai
super
would- yeah.
dope. I love Justin. Shout out to Justin. I think Paige is amazing. I honestly think everybody is super talented, and every single designer on the show made something that I would wear in real life. Every single one of them.
Who wins?
I can't tell you that,
Fuck with you, that's what I'm saying.
but if you want to know who wins, all of the episodes are out right now on HBO Max, so you can go tap in, binge them. I know you getting a lot of money these days. It's hard to get you free to watch, but if you have some time, I'd love it if you checked it out.
All right.
Listen, how do you feel when somebody has to go home? As somebody who's not, this is your first time hosting a show with contestants.
Yeah, it's tough because you know I spend a lot of time with the designers. I'm with them while they're actually going through the process. I learn about them. You know, I know their stories. Like I know what they do when they're stressed. So for me personally, it's hard to like say goodbye to these people who have these aspirations. And you know, at the end of the day, like there can only be one winner. Mm-hmm. But the positive thing is like it is such a showcase for so many viewers to like look at these designers for the first time.
Right. Ideally, these designers will get more opportunities from this. Has
Facts.
that happened already?
Yeah, I mean, I can't announce like what has been happening, but a lot of the designers have told me like, yo, so-and-so seen this, I'm about to sign a deal, boom. Like this person's about to throw me a bag, like this major brand just hit me up. And that's music to my ears because opportunities need to be given out, especially to people of color, especially to young people in streetwear culture. A lot of the big fashion brands just steal from the streets like without actually ever giving back. So for them to like give these kids an opportunity or give these designers an opportunity is, you know, invaluable. I love it. I love it.
Well, what's next for our guy, Speedy, man?
Man, obviously I'm still at Complex full time. Complex is the home team. So I host a show at Complex called 360, 360 with Speedy Morman. That's my just one-on-one interview show. So more interviews always, sitting down, going in depth with a lot of, whether they're artists, whether they're politicians, athletes, actresses and actors, whatever.
Have you ever had anybody cry during an interview?
I have. You know what? I have. Yeah, that shit sucks too because it's super uncomfortable and awkward. I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit is crazy because you be looking at him like, oh, you really crying, you know? It's crazy.
Oh, you crying.
Yeah, you know, I've had some people get emotional. You know, I sat down with Allen Iverson for a long time in Virginia, his hometown, at this Boys and Girls Club that he was helping out at, and like he got super. AI is an emotional being,
Yeah.
And I love him for that. But he, you know, he got a little bit emotional, especially afterwards, and you know, there have been times I've gotten emotional, like not cried, but like you know, times that I really felt overwhelmed with emotion. Just being honored to be somewhere.
Those are great moments, though.
Yeah, the one that I felt that the most with was Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace to the GOAT. But Kobe's somebody I looked up to my entire life, so I'm honored I got a chance to sit down with him, and I just still remember looking at him. I couldn't believe it.
I can't believe I'm sitting here with Kobe.
Bro, I couldn't believe it. You know, when that happened, like I grew up with like posters. You know, you see somebody on your wall for so long, posters, jersey. You don't see them in the flesh. You just see them on this paper, you know. And to sit across from him in real life. Y'all ever looked at somebody they didn't look like a real human being?
Right.
They
That's how it felt.
I'm looking at him during mid-interviews, the only time it's ever happened to me in my entire career. One time where he's talking to me, his mouth is moving, but I don't hear anything he's saying. And I'm just looking at him and I'm like,
Interviewing
surreal.
Kobe Bryant.
and I said that to myself. I said, I can't believe it. And then just like that, I was back and I heard him again. It was fucking crazy. I
would've
like a
told him.
movie scene. I didn't want to tell him that.
You can't fan out in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's
I do it all the time.
You gotta wait till after because
No.
you don't want to disrupt the flow either.
Yeah.
I tell you why though, because look what happened. God,
Yeah,
sadly,
unfortunately,
you know what I
yeah.
mean. So we got to give people them flowers when they
Yeah.
here. Like I love it. Like I have no problem telling somebody like, man, bro, I look up to you. I listened to your music when I was young. Like show that appreciation.
Yeah, I definitely showed my appreciation. And you know what the crazy thing is? He showed some appreciation to me after the interview, and it meant the absolute world to me. Rest in peace to Kobe. But yeah, that was really, really special to me, man. And I'm just honored even to be with y'all. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Like, I really grew up listening to this show. Like, it's crazy.
Okay, we'll let Envy know because he was a little jealous of you. He was
Why?
like, he's not getting the opportunities that you're getting. And no, I'm
Are
totally
you kidding me?
kidding.
I'm about to say no way.
I'm kidding.
Nah, real shit though. Like I really remember being in high school, like listening to this show. Like I used to recite like clips from the show, like Ray J's when he called up type shit, like at the lunch table with my bros, like. And then obviously when I'm prepping for my interviews, like y'all are one of the first places I go to like watch to see what there's, so. I'm honored. I want to give y'all flowers. Thank you guys
Thank you.
for
Appreciate
the
that,
contributions
bro.
you've made to this culture. Like one day when you guys are all on doing the next thing, whenever that is, like
Damn, you just fired us?
no. I'm saying like down the line, we can't do this forever.
You're
But
right.
whenever that day comes, like y'all will really go down as like the most impactful radio show ever, I think. And I'm just honored that like I would have gotten the opportunity to sit in this seat that I've watched for so long.
Nah, you earned it. You earned the right to sit in that seat.
Bro,
man.
I'm so happy to be, and like when I saw y'all say my name for the first time, or like the first time you hit me up to show love, I was like, bro, this shit is crazy. And I've accomplished a good amount of things, but you rank things in importance to yourself, and like hearing love from y'all has been.
But that's how you know you're doing the work. When people, that's why I always tell people, just do the work. People will recognize it. You know what I'm saying? I just hit Speedy up one day like, bro, I really like what you're doing out here. You know what I mean?
Man, that shit meant so much to me. You know what about when it comes to doing the work? Like, they say like it's lonely at the top. In my opinion, like a big reason why it's lonely at the top is because a lot of people aren't willing to do the work that it takes to get there. People just weed themselves out. Like as the going gets tougher, people just start dropping like flies.
Right.
And so when it comes to putting in the work, like to me, it wasn't an option. It was something I was gonna do regardless. And so I guess now that's led me to like be able to be here. But
I mean, that's what you said is so real because it's like clearly you got the talent, right? But when I hear your backstory, I'm like, oh, he got it. He gonna make it. You know what I mean? Because people wouldn't have put themselves through that type of process.
yeah.
Right. I think that was an important story to tell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is your real name Speedy?
Nah, it's not.
Okay.
My real name is Chris, but Speedy is a name that was given to me by my 3rd grade basketball coach. I used to be super fast, and that was a name that
I don't believe any of this. I need to see this tape.
You don't believe?
all of
Why
this
would I-
all-star basketball talent you talking about having?
Listen, go to Left Rack City, Queens, Section 5. Just ask.
Oh, you from Left Rack?
Yeah.
Did you just go to
That's
the-
where my whole family is
Wow.
from. My
Did you
uncle
just
out
go to
here.
the event that they just had? Didn't they just have I know
Left
Nori
Rack
was
Day.
in town.
Yeah,
I
Nori.
mean, Nori is always in town. Shout out to Nori. Nori showed me love too one day when we were in Miami in Super Bowl weekend. And I didn't even know Nori knew who I was, but Nori came up to me.
Nori's media for real. He's
Oh,
not-
for real?
yeah.
Like, for real? Nori came up to me and said, yo, Speedy, I'm such a huge fan of you. And to me, this is crazy because I grew up there.
He know you from Left Rack?
He did not know that. And I said,
Wow.
bro, it's crazy. Like, my whole family is from Left Rack. Like, he's like, what? Like, this is crazy. I know his nephew. Like, I know.
Relly?
Yeah, I know,
Yep.
like, a lot of, the other young guns. But, yeah, man, it was crazy. So, I don't even know where we was going with
No,
that.
that adds more to the story. You made it out of Left Rack alive?
Well,
And you-
listen. To be fair,
It was different when you grew up.
Well, so my parents are divorced, right? My
Okay.
mom grew up, like she raised us in Ridgewood, Queens. And then my pop's entire side of the family grew up in Left Rack. So I used to play in the basketball tournaments there. I used to spend the night there all the time. My whole family still lives in Left
So
Rack.
Ridgewood like the suburbs.
It's not the suburbs. It's like a safer part of Queens, I would say.
It's kind of close to Brooklyn because
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
a lot of times when I'm
Claim
ordering,
Left Rack. It makes the story better.
It does.
Claim
I
Left
should
Rack.
just say I'm born and bred Left Rack
That's right.
City, Queens. You know what I'm saying? Get the tattoo of 57 Dad
That's
on
right.
that shit. No, but I really grew up there. Like if you go, we were talking about basketball. That's what it is. If you really go, the OG of the hood, his name is Wise. If you go ask Wise about his tournament that he used to throw every year, I used to win MVP. I really was good at basketball. Now I'm horrible. I'm so out of shape.
You're definitely
I
better
don't
than
play.
Charlamagne still. He can't play basketball.
Well, the bar is pretty low if you
Yeah.
compare
Yeah,
me
that's
to
right.
Charlamagne.
Okay, you're right.
Like you should be. Your bar is Kenny Anderson.
Yeah, man. Kenny Anderson is like the. We used to look at Kenny Anderson, Kenny Smith. I remember meeting Kenny Smith for the first time at All-Star Weekend. He's from Left Rack too.
Kenny from Left Rack too. I know you
Yeah.
from Queens. I know you from Left
Kenny
Rack.
Smith is from Left Rack. Yeah, the court is named like there was one court, the Kenny Anderson court, and then the other one was the Kenny Smith court. And yeah, I remember meeting him for the first time and saying, "Yo, I'm from Left Rack." And when you meet somebody that's from Left Rack, it's always like, "Oh, you from like what building? What section?" Like it's like it's really cool. Like I'm honored that my family is from there. Like, you know.
All right. Well, also shout out to Ridgewood, man.
Yeah, shout out Ridgewood too. Like that's where my barber. Shout out to my barber, Hippie. Like still in Ridgewood on Myrtle Ave. You know, like I very much grew up like in both. Like I lived with my mom, but like I spent a lot of time in Left Rack as well.
You don't live in Jersey now, do you?
No,
Okay.
I'm still in Queens.
Okay,
I
just
can't.
checking.
I can't leave Queens, man. I can't do the Jersey thing. I don't want to move to Brooklyn. Like I love Queens. I just feel like
No, I love Jersey too, but I just feel like, I live in Brooklyn still. It's just funny because once people start doing it, they're like,
They
hey, move to
always
Jersey.
leave. You live in where you live, Jersey?
Jersey.
Yeah, everybody always goes to Jersey.
Yeah.
Envy's in Jersey.
More
right?
space.
Yeah, you get more bang for your buck. But who really wants to live out there? And then I gotta drive.
Don't do
and
that.
shit.
Don't do
Jersey's
that.
amazing.
No, but then I have to drive. I don't drive. So
Oh, got you.
You still don't have a license?
no, I did just get a license, but I don't drive though. I'm not a driver. Like I
Okay,
don't
so you got
feel
a license just
comfortable.
to get it, but yeah.
Yeah,
New
just-
York is a difficult place to learn how to drive into. It's very aggressive.
I ain't gonna lie. I passed my shit on the first go, almost a perfect score. The parallel park was crazy. The trick is go to Long Island and take the test. That's
Right.
what I
Well,
did.
go ahead and drive in these streets for real and see how it goes.
Oh no, I've never driven in the city. Never. Not happening. My brother Ish will drive. I'll be shotgun right there with him playing the tunes, but I am not driving. Not a driver.
Well, give me your Instagrams and Twitters and all that, Speedy.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Speedy Morman, Morman. Most importantly, check out The Hype. It's streaming now on HBO Max, episodes 1 through 8. It's an amazing show, super entertaining, a lot of celebrity cameos, and most importantly, it's like a true ode to the culture. Like streetwear culture needs its respect and its love, and I'm so happy to be a part of that show. And shout out to everybody who helped make it. Like literally the most talented people I've ever worked with in my life. I'm just honored. So go check it out. The Hype is
Word.
streaming now on HBO Max.
It's my,
Syracuse, hit them up.
please hit 'em up,
I don't
Syracuse.
care, man.
Yes, you do.
Don't
Stop
do that.
saying
Don't
that.
do that.
Y'all hit me up. So that means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? When Syracuse calls me, I'll answer it.
You know,
Thank you.
yeah. Anytime you need us, we here, my brother.
That means so much to me. Thank
doing
y'all
the good
for real.
work.
I appreciate that.
My man Speedy Morman is the Breakfast Club.